Am I too late to jump on the hype train? Hey everyone, and welcome back to Kenji Martial Arts. Now today I'm going to give my thoughts on the event that has been mocked and insulted throughout the entire martial arts community. Yes, I'm going to be talking about the knockout that caused one fighter to be out cold with a gold medal and the other fighter with a disqualification. Welcome to 2021, Logic has left the building. Now before I begin, let me just say this. No, I did not watch any Olympic karate events whatsoever. Then what gives me the right to talk about it? I don't know, something about making content. Now we all know what the Olympics are. The very best athletes of a certain sport will go on the international stage to represent their country and engage in fair contest to determine who is the very best. In 2021, we saw WKF karate point style fighting as an event. Considering that this year's Olympics was hosted by Tokyo, Japan, which is also the ruling government for Okinawa, and no, I will not say it, it rang a very special bell across the world for all karateka. It's almost like the equivalent of England's chanting "It's coming home" from the Euros. Now was the chance for karate fighters all across the world to step onto the international stage in the spotlight and prove their worth. And they did. They showed the world exactly what has become of mainstream karate competition. It will forever be remembered as the event where you can win by losing. That's what Olympic karate is now, and there's no going back. A gold medal was awarded to someone for getting knocked out. Now do not think for a second that I blame the fighters. I want that made absolutely clear. These people are top athletes for their game who through years of hard work have finally made it to an international stage. And it doesn't get quite bigger than the Olympics. That's something I couldn't or wouldn't do, so I respect them wholeheartedly. No, what I do blame is the sport. Don't hate the player, hate the game. We're at a point where mainstream karate competition has accepted WKF style point sparring as the norm. This is what is considered true karate competition in this modern age. It's become a game of high-paced tag where both players are it. Tag and scream as loud as you can. No tag backs allowed, and don't tag too hard, otherwise the other person will tell the teacher. Karate is an art which includes striking, grappling, close quarters clinch work, some ground skills, and a whole lot of ki-eyes. But mainstream karateka have literally accepted less and less of this as part of their overall art, and therefore as part of their overall competition over the years. So therefore it got watered down more and more and more, so this is the current evolution that we have to offer the world. I'll say it, and I'm not afraid to say it. Point style fighting does not represent karate. It does not in any way represent what I do, doesn't represent anything that I know anybody else does, and it doesn't represent the greater practical karate community as a whole. I mean, look at these WKF approved gloves. They're like giant bloody shrimp. We're supposed to be competent strikers. I don't think you can actually strike anyone with this. You might as well turn the competition into a bloody pillow fight. So how on earth does this qualify this style of fighting to represent karate on the international stage? In my opinion, it does not, and it should not be allowed to. The Olympics are a very, very special event. And to those who might have been thinking of trying out karate before this, will most certainly be thinking twice after watching this fiasco. I know it was a very different time period back then, but imagine what ancient Greek Olympians would think if they saw their events of physical prowess, strength and skill being turned into this. That's not just an insult. It would be quite interesting to get their opinion on the state of the Olympics. Fun fact, Roman Emperor Nero actually added singing as an official event so he could compete. Apparently he was very tone deaf and worse than your drunk aunt and uncle on karaoke night. But hey, he was the emperor, he could fix the ruling in his favour. Gotta love history. So yes, a gold medal was issued to someone who got knocked out by a clearly effective and well-timed kick. And the other bloke, quite sadly, got a disqualification. I do not like this. Mainstream karate has themselves so convinced that if they use any of their other deadly techniques, they'd get kicked out of competition due to the number of bodies racking up. Sorry, but that's rubbish. We all know karate can be practiced safely and not so safely. But there are so many other better forms of sparring than what point style has to offer. Look at Muay Thai, MMA, Kyokushin, Kudo, Kata-based sparring. Look at my last video, shameless plug. There are so many full contact arts which practice the same kind of striking, grappling, throwing, and ground fighting skills found in karate and kata that can, with some effort, be made into a good, well-rounded karate competition. And that should be the mainstream of karate. Just because point style fighting is the norm does not mean that we have to follow suit. So for my fellow karateka who are watching this, I offer you these questions. Does point style fighting represent you? Does it represent your club? Does it represent your art? Does it represent everything you know about fighting? Do you believe that this is how karate should be represented upon the main stage? I ask you this because we're at a point where we need to take a good, long, hard look at ourselves and say, is this really who we are? We have the opportunity to look at this and say, no, this is not us. That is not our art, and we are better than this. I most certainly have said, no, this is not me, this is not my art. Will you be joining me? It's up to you, the people who practice karate, to decide on the future of the art. We are the ones practicing it now and the ones who will be leading it in the future. Please choose wisely, my friends. Anyway, that's all from me for today. I hope this video resonated with you. If not, just give it a few minutes to sink in. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, hit me up on my socials. And of course, I wish you all the best with your training. Take care.